Chapter 23. From within the thunderclouds emerged from gigantic beasts within thunderous roars. The four creatures were long dragon, vermeiled bird, giant tiger, and tortoise, and winded with a snake. The four beasts were mythological creatures that granted to cardinal directions in Zeal's homeworld. The beasts appeared one after another from behind the clouds. A dragon, hundreds of meters long, a large bird with beautiful and fiery feathers, a huge tiger with patterns on the back, and a giant tortoise and winded with snakes. The four beings were created from extreme condensed mana and roar. The beast results from the combination of the skills manufactured, mixation, and imitation, which could create any creature or form Zeal wanted. They have no conscience of their own and move under his control. The color of four creatures was the same grey as Zeal's mom and aura. In the contrast, their eye color is crimson, which matches his eyes. The beast still had the abilities of the original world. The current Zeal was like a god, surrounded by four meteorical creatures. What's that? Princess Freya and the people around her were shocked and stunned after seeing four beasts emerge from the thundercloud. You could feel the creatures present far exceeding the thousands of magical beasts that were invading the Sylvest city. Princess Aisha tightly clenched her hands, only to regret she felt right now. In contrast, Princess Freya smiled like a blooming flower. What the hell is that? You can also summon a beast, although it's only four beasts. This pressure is similar to a divine beast, Ashil said with trembling voice after seeing the appearance of four meteorical creatures. You don't need to know, so let's finish this immediately, Zeal said indifferently. Go on a rampage. The magical beast spread out all four directions. One of them headed for the border in the Elba mountain range. I want to try using that weapon while my power is in an unsealed state, Zeal muttered to himself. The two magical circles as big as Zeal's body appeared on his hand, and left from the center of each magical circle. Swords of the opposite color came out slowly. The first sword was black and other was white. Both swords have the shape of a katana with a red line along the blades. A magic chain locked the two swords. Zeal grasped the hilts of the two swords and pulled them out forcefully. Clank! Black and white lightning radiation from the sword Zeal was holding. Three colors of light currently enveloping him. Solid black on the right, milky white on the left, and grey in the middle. The black sword's name was Zeta, while the white sword name was Alva. Zeal made a weapon before he was reincarnated. I didn't have time to use it, because it was still unstable at the time. Therefore he sealed the sword along with the divine dress in his soul. Zeta Ava. Let's try your sharpness. Zeal branched his black sword, and the red lightning struck it. The lightning did not hit Zeal, but it gathered compressed the sword. The sword's blade was enveloped in thick light with sparks of lightning. Then he slashed it towards the thousands of monsters in front of him. Orbit slash. The thousands of magical beasts and mountain peak in front of Zeal vanished instantly. Everyone in the place was stunned by the power that Zeal displayed. Even Ashil and Asbil were trembling in fear, and cold sweat was pouring from their foreheads. The two people stepped back subconsciously. On the other hand, Zeal just stared at it calmly, as it was nothing. That was because he didn't feel like he was doing anything great by killing thousands of high-level magical beasts and below. His strength is incredible, and the sword he used is no less impressive. Was it a saint rank artifact? Wouldn't be dangerous if he became an enemy? Our kingdom will be destroyed instantly. Ariana fearfully asked Princess Freya next to her. Yes, it seems so, but we will never be his enemies. I can confirm that. Princess Freya smiled softly, looked at Princess Aisha. Zeal will come back to us after this fight, won't he? Princess Alice asked Princess Aisha with trembling voice. Princess Aisha chose to remain silent and didn't want to answer her sister's question, because she didn't know the answer either. What kind of power is this? We need to retreat immediately. After all, we have got what we were looking for, Ashil said to Asbil. His voice trembled in fear. At Zeal's power, I agree with you. Asbil nodded as Ashil's options. His condition is not much different from Ashil. Although it was too late, Zeal suddenly spoke from behind him. What? Since when are you behind us? Asbil reflectively attacked Zeal with his spear, while Aisha backed away and drew his bow to attack him. Zeal slashed his white sword as well, and both attacks disappeared. When Zeal slashed his white sword, the space in front of him was torn apart, and their attacks were sucked into it. Space banish. A sword that can cut through space. Asbil retreat. Ashil showed to warn Asbil. Where are you going? Zeal moves very fast and leaves an artery ring. He attacked Asbil not far from him. When Zeal was fighting Ashil and Asbil, the four mythological creatures that Zeal had summoned rank amidst the horde of magical beasts. Sarachiku, hundreds of meters long with red lightning all over his body, shoots the dragon breath towards the grove of beasts. Sarachiku also wagged his tail at the monsters that were approaching him. The magical beast's body was torn apart by its tail. Elsewhere, Byaku moves very fast and kills magical beasts by clawing and biting them one by one. Byaku also shoots a wind cannon from his mouth. Thousands of beasts were blown away by his attack. One on the other hand, Ginbu ignored the monster's attack because his tough shell could withstand them. Then Ginbu fires a water laser beam that can punch or destroy the beast bodies. The magical beast on the attack trajectory did not survive a single one. On the border between the Argent Kingdom and the Alba Mountains, the battle between the Argent Kingdom's army, led by General Farald, the Spear King, and the Beast Horde, has been going on for quite some time, because the numbers of attacking beasts were too much. The soldiers felt overwhelmed. Many of them died and were seriously injured. Generally, Farald was alone, On the front lines, the restrained monsters take the wounded soldiers to the healing mage. The soldiers will still have strength. Keep the front lines. Don't let the beast cross the border. General Farrell ordered his subordinates while fighting the beast. Piercing drill. General Farrell leaped into the air, thrust his spear while spinning himself. High speed, like a drill. The monsters in his attack tragically died with their heads smashed or holed in their bodies. Damn. The monsters seemed endless. General Farrell checked his surroundings. He saw that many of his soldiers were exhausted. Some were injured, and others looked desperate. Could this be the end of this kingdom? At least I have to fight until the end. General Farrell tightly gripped his spear and was about to attack the beast horde, but he stopped after hearing the beast cry that resounded in the sky. Quack! A huge bird, covered in flames all over its body, was flying over the beast horde. What else is that? General Farrell felt overwhelming pressure from the giant bird in the sky. Suddenly the giant bird spread its wings and fired feathers attack the thousands of magical monsters on the ground. The forest turned into a sea of fire, and the beasts were scorched after the monster died. The giant bird flew back in the direction it came from. What is that? Is it the divine beast? Did the bird kill those monsters to help this kingdom? Was that the giant bird flying in the direction of the Sylvest Kingdom? General Farrell muttered. He had a lot of questions on his mind right now. Then he frowned at Elisa, realizing something. Oh, pure fine princess. General Farrell prayed in his heart. Then he went to the next battlefield with his soldiers. Chapter 24. When the four mythological creatures were rampaging in all corners of the battlefield, Zeal was busy fighting with two people from the gods' domain organization. In a battle, Zeal suddenly disappeared from the sight of the two people. Watch out, Asbil. Asbil screamed because he felt danger coming to Asbil. But it was too late, because Zeal was already beside Asbil and slashed his black sword at him. On the other hand, Asbil quickly raised his spear after sensing danger and intended to block Zeal's attack. Clank! Asbil was punched back after receiving Zeal's attack. His spear shook violently and his hands were numb, but Zeal's attack didn't stop there. He quickly moved behind Asbil and slashed his back. Asbil cried out in pain. Achille shouted wordly at Asbil. Bastard! Achille angrily shoots hundreds of arrows at Zeal. On the other hand, Zeal calmly slashed his white sword at the attack coming at him. A space rift formed in front of Zeal and swallowed all the arrows. Then he disappeared again from their sight. Damn! Achille suddenly felt a chill down his spine. He quickly moved away from his current spot, but his movement was a bit too late, and Zeal was already behind him. Zeal slashed his sword and cut off his right hand. Achille screamed in pain while holding his severed arm. Your response was pretty quick. Previously intended to split you in two, but since you reached faster than I thought, I had to change the trajectory of my sword forcibly. The result is that I only get your hand. Zeal shrugged his shoulders like he didn't care about his failed attack. "How are you?" Asbel shouted at Zeal, but he didn't dare attack him harshly. Then he approached Azil to check his condition. "Quickly stop bleeding, Ashil." Asbel warns Asbel because he fears that Zeal will attack them when injured. "I've stopped the bleeding. The most important thing now is finding a way to escape from this place. We have to find an opportunity to use the teleportation stone." Ashil explained his plan to Asbel while enduring the pain. "But how? He won't give us time to activate it." Asbel has doubts about Ashil's plan. "You're right. Then we have to create the opportunity itself. We'll attack him like before. You will stop his movements, and I will attack him with full force. And at time, we will retreat and activate the teleportation stone." Ashil only had that way on his mind at that moment. "Alright, let's go. Let's do it." Asbel quickly agreed to the plan. Then he changed towards Zeal at high speed. "Have you finished talking about your plan?" With minimal movement, Zeal calmly dodged the spear thrust that suddenly came from behind him, and then twisted his body and counterattacked by slashing his black sword towards Asbel's neck. But Asbel speared his sword with a spear. Unfortunately, Zeal's attack hasn't stopped. He quickly did a spinning kick to Asbel's waist after seeing Asbel parry his sword. Asbel was blown away thousands of meters after being hit by the kick. Just as Zeal was about to chase after him, hundreds of feared arrows suddenly came towards him. Fire rain. This time Zeal did not block the attack with his white sword, but he made a barrier in the shape of a tortoise shell, similar to Princess Asia's bracelet. Power, Ashil's fire arrows couldn't penetrate Zeal's barrier in the slightest, but it was according to their plan. "Asbel, now!" Asbel shouted, giving Asbel a sign to hurry to his side. He activated the teleportation stone in his hand. A bright light emanated from the rock and nothing happened. "What? What's going on? Why isn't the teleportation still working?" Ashil shouted hysterically at an unknown situation. "Do you think I let you escape? I still have business with you. I've been sealing this space around here so you can't escape using teleportation stone," Zeal said calmly to them. Then he stabbed Zeta and Alva into their bodies. "What? Since when did you..." Agil was shocked when he saw Zeal suddenly behind him and thrusting his sword at him. "I didn't realize it at all." Asbel tried to strike back at Zeal, but he couldn't move at all. "You won't be able to move after I stabbed you with this sword." "I advise you not to do anything pointless, so we will answer my question," Zeal said indifferently. "You think we're going to talk? You better kill us," Ashil shouted, challenging Zeal, while Asbel remained silent. "Alright," Zeal answered curtly, and his white sword was stabbed. Asbel's body suddenly glowed. Asbel's body disappeared in an instant. He was sucked into the space rip creation by Zeal using his white sword. This is one of Alpha's abilities. "Alpha," Ashil shouted from the top of his lungs. "How dare you kill him? You bastard, I will kill you." Ashil tried to move his body with all his remaining strength until every pore of his body was bleeding. Zeal looked at him calmly and returned Ava into the ceiling magic circle. Zeal's free left hand suddenly grabbed Agil's head. Memory extraction. What are you going to do to me? Agil screamed of pain, resounded in the sky of Selva's city. Princess Aisha and others felt goosebumps after hearing that voice. I'm just reading your memories. Then Zeal closed his eyes and started looking at Agil's memories. No. Agil's eyes became black as Zeal looked at his memories after a white Zeal finally opened his eyes. Huh. So they're looking for the world's altar fragments. They intend to use it to go to another world. It turns out that the divine race is not omnipotent either. However, their purpose in going to another world was not explained in his memory. Zeal pondered for a while. Everything related to their organization is also missing. So in the other worlds, they purposely erased all information about the organization from his brain, as expected of a fallen god. Zeal decided that he forcefully opened Ashiel's space storage. He took a stone the size of a dinner plate from his inside. It was a fragment from the world. After they had just obtained, Zeal thought at least 5 to 6 fragments were left to form a perfect world altar. After that, Zeal injected his mana and aura into Zeta, who was still stuck in Asvel's body. His body suddenly crumbled into the dust and disappeared into the wind. Zeal looked at the mythological creature he had created. The four beasts returned after killing all of the monsters around the Argent Kingdom. Then Zeal cancelled the spell. The 4 magical beasts turned into particles of light and disappeared. Release. Then what should I do now? Zeal mumbled. He looked at Princess Aisha and others. Zeal is currently unable to stay in the Argent Kingdom anymore. He also had to search for the other world's altar fragments. Apart from that, he also had to find out the purpose of the god's domain. His eyes accidentally met Princess Aisha. Zeal descended from the sky and approached them. When faced with Princess Aisha, Zeal was silent and didn't say anything. He felt frightened gaze from all of them, except Princess Freya and Princess Aisha. But Princess Freya's gaze felt strange to Zeal, who didn't know her. Zeal decided to ignore that for now. Zeal, I'm sorry. At the time, I have no other choice. Princess Aisha cried, broke the silence between them. Zeal looked at Princess Aisha nonchalantly. He was silent and didn't say anything. Zeal, Princess Aisha felt a pain in her chest when she saw Zeal's indifferent gaze on her. Your Highness, Princess Aisha, Zeal said flyly. Princess Aisha's body trembled, and the pain in her chest grew stronger. After she heard Zeal use honorific to address her, you don't have to worry about it. I'm used to this kind of other thing. 1 or 2 more people who betrayed me means nothing to me. A human betrays another human to protect what he has. I understand your situation. Then Zeal turned around and left them. A space rift suddenly formed in front of him. Please forgive me, Zeal. Please. Princess Aisha's heart was broken. A huge hole formed in her heart. At this moment, send my greetings, Anna. Thank you. Then Zeal disappeared into the space rift. Princess Asia stretched out her hand and tried to grab Zeal, but Zeal had already vanished from her sight. Zeal! Princess Asia screamed from the top of her lungs until she lost consciousness.